What's up, guys? Johnny 5 coming at you live today from none other than the heart of San Antonio's Tech District, and personally, one of my favorite places to eat. I probably come here 2, maybe 3 times a week. I know everyone here, including this man, 5 times a week. Sean Nguyen, co-founder of Pinch Boil House.
That's right.
We were here one time, and that time was right before you guys opened. But I love this place so much, I said we gotta come back and we gotta see where Sean's at now, where Pinch is at, and we gotta hear his story over again.
Is this the first place you've come back twice?
Just about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Nice.
please feel special. Now, I got plenty of questions and I got some food right here which we'll go over, we'll dive into. But first, before we do that, Sean, please tell me and our viewers out there and Geekdom and all of San Antonio a little bit about your story, because I know it's a special one, it's different on how you went from working at Geekdom to now owning this restaurant. So take it from here.
Oh, thanks, man. This is a very nice mic, by the way. It's kind of insane, actually. You know, I moved to San Antonio 3 years ago as a part of Venture for America, but mostly because of what Lorenzo's vision was for downtown. And he sold me on it, and I moved here. And as many of you know, I worked as a membership manager at Geekdom for a year and a half, maybe. And during that time, I saw what Geekdom has done for the ecosystem. I saw what it's done for the people, for the tech district, and I was just so enthralled with the way it operated, with this, you know, how it operates with a servant's heart, how it operates with really trying to empower people. And so seeing that, it made me feel more empowered to start something that I've always wanted to, which is completely different than my background, which is in finance and in startups. So, and then 3 years later, here we are, man. It's crazy.
Now do me a favor. What is VFA? Like, can you explain to the audience? You were part of that program. I feel like it's such a big role why you're even here.
Yeah.
What exactly is it?
So VFA is that's right. VFA is Venture for America, and it's essentially modeled after Teach for America, where they send fellows to cities that are on the rise, cities that are burgeoning. They need a little bit more economic injection, and they work and they place them in startups for VCs. And so I actually got placed at Geekdom 3 years ago.
Now, say you had not been placed in Geekdom, do you think this kind of would have all happened?
So I was actually placed in Baltimore first. So I lived in Baltimore working at a cybersecurity startup for like a year and a half. And cybersecurity is cool, don't get me wrong. San Antonio is all about it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
Sure.
And Andrew and I have been, which is the co-founder of Pinch, and one of my best friends, have been dreaming about doing something like this since we were young lads, you know what I mean? So, young wee little tots. And so, to be able to realize this vision has been so humbling.
Instead of like selling lemonade, we all selling banh mi's, like banh mi stands.
No, he was making them, I was just eating. I was a chubby little kid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think we all were at some point.
Adorable.
Now, I do have a question.
Yes.
So, before Pinch even arrived, you guys had the pop-ups and all that. I personally had never had crab, lobster,
Oh, wow.
crawfish. I've never had any
didn't
of
know
that
that.
until you guys came and I saw all the spices and all that. What made you guys like think of this kind of outside the box way of cooking like this, or even bringing it, coming up with the idea of bringing it to San Antonio?
You know, it was, are you good?
I figured while I was over here, I might as well check out wherever this is.
Well, welcome.
Welcome to this
Yes.
this shot. Sorry about that. But yeah, all good. We came here because we thought the scene here was something that was up and coming, and it was something that was new and something that was fresh, and we wanted to be a part of that wave. You know, we didn't want to be here after it hit. And so the important thing for us was getting in here early,
Right.
and having an audience of people that were open-minded and willing to try our food and, you know, go through our story. Because we tell a story of our culture through our food. People are open-minded about that. That's super dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know the pop-ups, I'm assuming, were such a big hit because you guys had them, seem like almost every weekend, and I was at every single one, eating it all up.
We
So.
did a lot of pop-ups. Even mostly, I think it was almost once a week for a full year and a half.
That's awesome. And
Sometimes
crawfish
less.
season's almost over, right?
It is.
And you guys, speaking of pop-ups, when's your next one?
We have one last one this weekend. It's in Austin.
Okay.
But it's gonna be at Native Hostel if you're in Austin area, please come by. Hit us up on Instagram. Slide into our DMs. Let us know you're coming. So we'll make sure to hook you up.
Dude, sweet.
Yeah.
Now, kind of going back a little bit, you know, you being Geekdom member / former Geekdom employee, how would you say Geekdom's kind of impacted Pinch? You know, besides the customer base and feeding basically the entire building every single day, what has Geekdom essentially done for you guys or helped you guys out in any way?
It's just been a massive support. Like, the community has been so supportive. I mean, as you know, we had construction going on in the front of Pinch for what seems like an eternity. And to have people coming in, enjoying our food, like, it looked like a war zone out there. But they were just, didn't matter. They were coming in our side door, like, just supporting, coming out in full force to support. That's been amazing. They've been evangelizing our product. Mm-hmm. They've been telling our story. Mm-hmm. They've been, you know, promoting, like, the incredible, like, subtle flavors of Southeast Asian food, which is what we wanted from the beginning. So that's, Geekdom's plays such an integral role in kind of where we're at today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one thing I realize is people think of Geekdom, they think of it as tech businesses, but it goes to show, like, it's honestly for anyone that has an idea, they just need to get it off the ground.
That's a good point, man. This really isn't so dissimilar to a tech startup in my mind. I mean, the ebbs and flows, the cyclical nature of this thing, like the amount of capital you need to raise something to start something, it's so similar. You know, the fact that you have to market this thing, it's, you know, we run it as if it's a startup.
Sure.
And maybe that's just the way we've always, what I'm used to, but for me it seems like it's almost one and the same.
Yeah, you gotta bootstrap it and use whatever resources you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, being an owner of a restaurant in the hospitality business, what's some bit of advice, maybe some mentorship you would offer to someone they're looking to start their own restaurant, their own business? What are some advice, maybe some things that you've learned from that you would tell your older self? Hey, Sean, don't do this.
Everything? I'm kidding. I'm just old and callous now. It's a good question, man. I think the biggest thing for me is that you really have to temper your expectations, even after you've done, like, rounds and rounds of due diligence. Like, because at the end of the day, anything that's gonna go wrong is gonna find a way to go wrong. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen, and you just have to be able to deal with those punches, roll with those punches, in any regard. And so, like, my only, I guess, advice for mentorship, not just for restaurant but for anything, is, like, fully expect the worst to happen. But if you prepare for that mentally, psychologically, and as well as, like, from a business standpoint, you're gonna be fine when it hits you. You know what I mean? You know it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't hit, great. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But just poke as many holes as you can in the model. Poke as many holes as you can in the concept. Poke as many holes as you can in figuring out what are things that can put this place down. And then if you find answers for all these things, solutions for all those things in advance, man, that's gonna be huge. That's something I wish I would have done earlier, you know, because I came in here, to be transparent, a little too confident. I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. We've thought about this for so long, and then we got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
And then we had to scramble, try to figure out how to make things right. So
That's awesome. Playing devil's advocate, basically figuring out what can go wrong and tackling it ahead of time.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
You got it.
That's right. Challenge yourself. Always challenge yourself. Now, one thing that I love about Pinch, besides the food, of course you and Andrew and Ben and everyone, is the combinations that you can have. Like, I come in, I get something different every single time, and it doesn't help that you guys roll out some special every other day.
We almost
now,
have a special
because
every
now
day.
I can't decide what to eat. But what is this in front of us, and why did we pick these dishes?
Yeah, so people know that we have, or maybe not, but we do have banh mi's, seafood. That's kind of where our namesake is, you know what I mean? But there are a lot of cool, like, kind of funky, more modern takes on food. What we have here is a chicken banh mi bowl. So it's the same ingredients as you would find in a banh mi, but over some seasoned jasmine rice. And then here we have what we call the Pinch chop salad, which is essentially like there's a similar salad in Vietnam, and we use that same vinaigrette, that same dressing, but we add avocado and kind of marinated chicken on there. Mm-hmm. And so it's a healthy, delicious, I'm gonna join you, man.
Please.
Yeah. But yeah.
Now, one thing I also learned, you can turn anything into a bowl pretty much. You see it on the menu, you're like, can I get that in a bowl?
Yeah, you can turn
Rice?
anything into a bowl. I mean, If it has a protein on it, it can be a bowl.
That's awesome. Now, what would you say? This might be a little tough. What is like your go-to dish? What is your favorite one on the menu that you would just choose over anything else?
Wow. You're putting me on the spot, huh? I'll be real. So I'll tell you one of my favorites from each section. So we have essentially 3 sections on the menu. It's broken down into sandwiches and bowls, snacks, and seafood. So my favorite seafood is, I love crab. I can eat crab for probably every day of my life. Maybe probably my last meal, or maybe Sour Patch Kids is my last meal.
Yeah.
But
So if
crab
you're
is
on like
amazing.
Castaway and you're on that island, you could just live. You'd be good.
Oh, I'd be crabbing for life, man. I love crab. Crab paired with the garlic butter sauce here is out of this world. It's phenomenal.
OG garlic butter sauce.
The OG.
I'll drink it.
Yeah, I bathe in it.
It's amazing.
So that in the seafood section is my go-to. The snack section, I would say, are the pinch fries. I mean, that's kind of like something we concocted super late one night and just we're craving something just really hearty. And so it's essentially a huge bed of hand-cut fries that we cut every morning.
It's literally like a pan filled.
It's a pan filled with fries, garlic butter mayo, sriracha, jumbo lump crab meat, green onions.
Just put the crab meat.
Just spring crab bay that thing on there, and that's phenomenal. Super great flavors. And then my favorite sandwich or bowl. You know, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a huge fan of the pork or chicken banh mi bowl. I mean, it's super fast, super easy, but like there's a lot of subtle nuance to the bowl as well as some bold flavors.
Yeah.
And some spice. I love it.
Now, I will admit, when you guys first rolled out, you had the boils, the shrimp, corn, potatoes, sausage.
Got it.
But, dude, the garlic, like, I just smell it all day.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you guys
awesome.
finally rolled out. It's called the business boil.
Yes.
It's like almost like a secret menu item, I feel like.
Yeah.
Everything's peeled already.
Yeah.
You just eat it with a fork. You don't even get your hands dirty.
That's honestly
That was a blessing.
That's
You guys
like
answered my
our
prayers.
second most popular item for everything. Our most popular item is the shrimp roll, which is a honey sriracha glazed fried shrimp in a roll, in a hoagie roll, or over rice, and it's oh my god, it's really good. Yeah.
Dude, awesome. Well, Sean, thank you so much for joining us for round 2 because I just love Pinch so much we had to come back
Hell
and
yeah.
see where you're at and hear all the updates.
For sure.
Do me a favor and tell the audience, besides where your location is, how they can find you, how they can get in touch with you on social media,
Yes.
what are your handles, all that stuff.
Yes. We are located at on the first floor of the Rand Building, 124 North Main. Most importantly, if you love us, smash that follow button. We're on @PinchBoilHouse on Instagram, @PinchBoilHouse on Twitter, @PinchBoilHouse on Facebook, @PinchBoilHouse on Google Plus. I'm just playing.
MySpace.
You don't have Google Plus.
MySpace.
PinchBoilHouse. Put it in your top 8.
On Fortnite, or everything.
Yeah.
So they're everywhere, guys.
Yeah.
And you gotta try it if you haven't been here, I promise. I used to not like seafood at all. You guys changed my life.
Thank you so much.
Bathe in it, yes.
Thank you guys. Shout out to Samus and Ochoa for setting this up. You guys are amazing as well. Seriously, if you guys need anything PR related, those are the homies.
Now, I would normally say I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
No!
But this is my last Geekdom Live, so it's been a true honor, sir. For 70 episodes, been doing Geekdom Live. But I am moving on with Broston Mobile Homes up on the 7th floor as a new startup. So you guys won't be seeing my face interviewing anymore,
We're gonna miss you for real.
but I'll still be here in heart. And it's been an honor. And to end on such a good note.
Thank you, man.
So thank you all viewers for everything. Doing 70 episodes, this is awesome. But until then, Johnny 5 signing off. We'll see y'all 2 weeks from now because there won't be a Geekdom Live on July 4th. Sean.